And so, from those changes, Kurt, what are some of the things that you're doing in your organization to ensure that you can continue to win?
I guess over the last 3 years, there's been significant change, and so we've just been trying to adapt. Excuse me. But primarily, you start with recruiting and doubling down on from a recruitment perspective and focusing there. You also focus more on talent development, providing opportunities for our younger staff to develop at a quicker rate, allow them those opportunities. Something that's been new this past year that we focused on, that we dove into, was outsourcing. So both domestic and internationally, we've started to look at those opportunities both in our audit and tax um, workflows. So that's been a new strategy for us, and I think it will continue to grow into the future. But it adds different complexities.
That's right.
The COVID environment also provided opportunities for us to learn that hybrid and remote work can be effective, but that also creates different challenges in managing our staff and our teams. And so it's a ebb and flow. It's a continuous change in our overall environment.
Yeah. And you're not the only one that we've heard on outsourcing, doubling down on recruiting, which to me is interesting because recruiting is one of those where you're trying to attract the top talent. And why would they want to come work for you, right? It's like, okay, well, what is it that they're getting in excess of the compensation package, right? What is the mission? What are you trying to accomplish? The group of people, the culture that you've created, and we know we've gotten the great pleasure of being around Blue and Co. for a period of time now. We've seen the culture. We know why you excel in the recruiting side. But on the technology side, Kurt, you're outsourcing, you're talking about managing hybrid and remote. You all have multiple regional offices throughout the country. What does that look like? How do you actually execute that in a meaningful and valuable way for yourself, for your employees, and for your clients?
Well, that has been a struggle. That's been an area that we've always had certain tools um, to assist with it, but oftentimes it's up to the individuals. It's up to um, certain groups to manage their processes without a significant amount of oversight. And so we did struggle from that perspective, um, in terms of managing our personnel and our teams, from a larger, more global perspective.
So when you struggle managing the teams, because what we see in most organizations is the complexities create the inefficiencies. The inefficiencies are driven further and further by a lack of consistent, optimized, and centralized process. Right? It's this, and we love it, and the fact that most of our clients before us have taken great pride in getting things done. Right? It doesn't matter what we have to do, but we need to get it done. But we know if you're in a scaling or growing organization or trying to maximize profitability or even ensuring the success of your team and your clients, it is a challenging thing if you don't have a centralized, highly optimized, and defined process. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's been fun for us, Kurt, is as we continue to work alongside, is being a small part of that for you all, so that you all can take that outsourcing, and because you have a defined process and a centralized structure that everyone now has access to, and that you can continue to move through the organization. Now you're in a place where you can take advantage of improving the employee experience, ensuring the success of your outsourcing, as well as delivering remarkable experience for your clients. So, and we'll talk more about that here in a little bit, Kurt. But I want to get into some nuts and bolts because I think it's important that our audience sees like this is the opportunity is now, and it's very real, and it's applicable to accounting firms across our country. And it's one of those things that, as we've had lots of conversations over the past couple of years with firms and people in the accounting space, it's obvious to us that there is an absolute need for them to be able to execute more work with less effort, with better visibility and the overarching theme of being able to deliver more value to their clients.